Hello everyone and welcome to the chain training exercise. In this exercise we will use different types of chains in order to chain this geometry right here for machining application purposes. Come up to the top and select Home and select Chain here. Once this is done, make sure that the dialog box is expanded like so. You'll notice at the top we have the choice between wireframe and solid. Solid is shaded out because there are currently no solids on screen, so we'll have to use wireframe. Below this is 3D and C-plane or construction plane. With 3D, this will use the XYZ plane, whereas C-plane will use the XY plane. Below this, we have chain. Chain is the default for all milling applications. Come over to the part here, and if we select near the top of this entity, the arrow will be facing down, and will be chained in a counterclockwise direction. If we wanted to switch this green arrow to a clockwise direction, we'll select reverse here. Selecting unselect will unselect all the chains that we have just selected. And beside it, unselect all would unselect all the chains that we have selected. For the chain option, if we were to select this entity at the bottom, you'll notice that it will be machined in a clockwise direction. Beside chain is point. This will allow us to create a chaining method to a certain point. Below this is window. Window will allow us to create a window around the geometry that we want chained. Sketch an approximate start point. You'll notice that the chain geometry inside the window is selected. This is the same as polygon. However, with polygon, you can create a custom window. Once you are happy with this geometry selected inside this window, hit enter on your keyboard and sketch an approximate start point here. Again, everything in the polygon will be highlighted. Select, unselect. Single will only select a single entity to be machined. Area will allow us to select inside of a closed chain. On the left-hand side, selecting vector will allow us to chain everything that intersects with the vector. And lastly, partial will allow us to grab this line and say if we wanted to go to this line here, we will partially select the entities that connect. You'll notice that start and end highlight at the bottom here when partial is selected. For start, we can back it up if need be, or we can move it forward. Much the same with the ending. We can back or go forward. You'll notice that dynamic is also highlighted in the middle here. This will allow us to select a chain to move to a certain location to chain. The last button will allow us to use the last chain geometry that we had in a previous operation. And the end chain will allow us to end the chain selection, but create a new line using a different command. At the bottom here, we have something called options. Options will allow us to select only a certain type of color to chain. I'm going to select red only and select OK. And select OK once more. This means that if we use our window icon and we create a window around all this geometry and sketch an approximate start point, we'll notice that the dark blue geometry is not highlighted. The options menu will also have an icon like this if there is a current filter activated. Select this button and come up to the top here and turn color off. Now, if we use the window again with our options off and we create a window around everything, it'll highlight all the entities. Select OK when done.